And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored, a tricky call for staff at a Pennsylvania middle school. They made the decision to keep a student's preferred pronouns of they and them instead of she under wraps. This is while keeping the child's parents in the dark about their chosen gender identity. Those teachers have been heavily criticized for the bold move. I have opinions from both sides tonight, a teacher and a parent.
So I guess they're here to talk about the situation that we've seen in Philadelphia where the teacher and I guess the counselor all agreed to keep the child's pronouns from their parents. So Stacy, as a retired teacher, would you ever do that? Would you ever be involved with keeping those pronouns from a parent?
Well, yes, and here's why. Because
yes.
The American School Counselors Association in 2016 adopted a approach to handling this type of situation, and it includes the fact that the student determines their gender identity. Not an outside source, not a counselor, not a mental health profession, just the student does. So therefore, all staff are not allowed to disclose that and should say the legal name of the student as well as the pronoun associated with their gender at birth. So if you're born a girl, then regardless of what you want to be called, if you have not disclosed that to anyone other than a school counselor or a teacher, I am still required to use the pronoun that you were born with.
Now, what if a parent called and said, I want you to use this pronoun, I am the parent? What would you do then?
And that is part of the role of the educator. So if it is disclosed by the parent that this is the gender that the student is going to be known by, then that's the one I have to use. But unless I've not been told by a parent, then I'm going to have to legally refer to the gender that, again, was assigned to the student at birth.
And Angelica, your feelings on this as a parent, hearing this and the whole big picture where the teacher and the counselor kept it away from the parent, didn't discuss it with the parent, or didn't disclose it to the parent.
That makes me very angry and almost scared for children these days, because kids are confused. They don't know. They don't know right from wrong. They don't know if they are, what gender they are yet, and that's okay. It's okay, but the parents are there to guide them. The parents is with this child from birth to at least 18 all the time. The school is with this child for a few hours, for 300, 200 days a year. And then after 3 years, the kid is gone. And the parents are left to deal with the consequences of what choices the school or some board made. The parent is the one who needs to guide the child. The parent is the guidance. So they need to know. They need to know what's going on with their child. How can they guide a child without knowing what's going on in their lives? Any incident in a school needs to be reported to the parent so that the parent can address it at home.
Stacy, does that make the job complicated for counselors and teachers?
No, because we're not talking about right or wrong. We're talking about the fact that as a teacher, I'm going to say that your child, if she's a girl at birth, is a girl, whether she says they or them, which was the situation in this case. I'm going to refer to your child as she because it is your child's decision. Now, let me go further. In 2020, there was a report of adult transgender students who had gone through the system, and 73% of transgender women and 78% of transgender men said that their first experience with gender dysphoria was about 7 years old. And if you look at the American Psychology Association, children know by the time they're 2 to 3 years old, what is considered a boy toy and what is considered a girl toy. I don't have any control over that. Mm-hmm. I don't have any control over what your child associates with. I don't know why that's confusing or threatening, because that's something, if you want to guide them, then you should be discussing this at home. I'm still referring to your child as she or he. based on their assigned gender at birth.
So, Angelica, has things become too complicated, not just in life, but in school?
Absolutely. I can't imagine what schools and teachers and counselors are going through because, you know, when it's you and your child, it's you and your child. But now it is a third person, a parent and a child. So I know it's got to be very, very difficult for them. And I agree with Stacy when she says, let's call them what they were assigned at birth. What I don't agree with is the hiding. The hiding really is what I don't agree.
Got it. Well, we want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Complicated world we live in, but we have to adapt, I guess. Thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.